Welcome back. In our last class, we have looked at how to implement and integrate gender into our project by using gender analysis, gender in the result, and having gender in our activities. In this class, we're going to look at an example of gender integration into our case study. In the project design phase, KS identified one of core objectives. So in this case, we are now having gender integration as one of the core objective of the project. All right. And it has also integrated gender in all other project activities. So here is what we're going to have. Of course, the result framework should look something like this: the goal, the strategic objective, intermediate result 1, intermediate result 2, intermediate result sub, intermediate result 2, that is under intermediate result 2, and then the activity. So you can have as many as intermediate result and have many subordinate intermediate result for each of intermediate result and many activities. So in this example, we are looking at IR2. Maybe this IR2 can be something like gender equity. So in this gender equity, this is what we mean. We want a program component, curriculum content, and logistic, that is venue, time, childcare, will meet the need of young men and women. So we want in the equity, we want everything like program component, curriculum content, and logistic of the training, for example, to be relating to be fair to both men and women. All right. In sub IR2, reduce all gender gaps in all program implementation activities. So we want to make sure there is no biasness in completion of training, so both gender have equal chance, and of course promoting if there is a challenge. For example, if one of the program that makes them not to complete maybe among the women is we have to implement that by having gender, considering the venue, the time of the training, the transportation cost, and everything. Access to information. So if there is a difference between those gender according to access of information, we have to consider that. Mentoring, access to financial services. We are focusing or aiming in having all the gender to have equal access to financial services. So those are what we are want to get at subordinate intermediate result 2. And then the activity, like we will intentionally reduce this gender gap to improve equity with which service and resources are distributed, accessed and utilized by men and women. So we can have an activity like training all of them on how to access financial services, and if there is maybe an institution that does not empower the equality or equity, then we have to address it. Then if there is an institution, a given institution that empower equity, then we can recommend this group to go look for or able to connect these young men and women to the institution that empower the equity in financial access, for example. Then we train, we give connection that they can access equal. So that is an activity, that is an intermediate, sub-intermediate result, and intermediate result for creating gender integration. All right, so let's summarize. Because gender is cross-cutting issue that affect all project stakeholders and all aspects of project activities, including project goal, result, and activities, and monitoring and evaluation, it is important to integrate gender during proposal design. So you might be required to have this gender integration during the proposal design. Maybe having it in your proposal, or if it is not required to, the project does not require to have the gender integration in the design, have it in your proposal. That will help you during your implementation. Or if the institution or the donor wants you to have, then that is well and good. But what we are saying, all projects should have gender integration in their proposal. Conduct gender analysis to integrate gender into your problem analysis. So while you're having your problem analysis and approach design, have your gender with you, gender analysis with you. Then take a gender lens to thinking about all your goals, results, and activities, and make sure that they are all fair. This marks the end of this section 5 of fundamentals of project design of our course, and also marks the end of the module of fundamentals of project design. In our next module, the third module, we are going to look at development of monitoring and evaluation plan, development of indicators and targets. It is my hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you and see you in our next module. Enjoy learning.